Hi, friends. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Today is a feel good flow all about loving on our spine. So, grab a blanket, grab a yoga bolster if you have one, similar to this one. If you don't have a bolster, no big deal. Grab two pillows and join me on the mat when you're ready. So, today is going to be all about loving on our spine. Our spine is our central core. It's what holds us up, allows us to stand and sit tall, allows us to pick things up and turn from side to side. It basically supports our entire body, and it also protects our spinal cord, one of the most integral parts of our body that connects to our brain and basically innervates our entire body, sends the brain messages. So the spine tends to degenerate over time, especially after the age of 30. Our spine starts to grow older. And yoga is a wonderful tool that we can use to keep our spine healthy, um, to re-moisturize and rehydrate the intervertebral discs, that spongy substance in between your spinal vertebrae, and just keeping movement in the spine, keeping range of motion in the spine is really going to help you just feel better, keep your body limber and fluid and flexible. And so we're going to take care of our spine today. And we're going to start out this practice in a seated position down on your mat. I'm sitting up on a folded blanket. You are welcome to do the same. And we're going to spend just a few moments connecting with our breath. So find a tall spine, sitting tall without creating tension in the spine, just sitting as tall as you can comfortably, letting the tailbone draw down towards the earth and lifting the crown of head gently up towards the sky. You can close the eyes if you like and just spend some time taking some slow, deep inhales and exhales. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the mind, slowing down the racing thoughts of the day. See if you can set all those racing thoughts aside just for a small period of time, bringing the attention solely to the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Lungs expand, lungs contract. Belly expands, belly draws in. One more deep breath in. And exhale all the way. And begin to blink your eyes open, or you can leave them closed for this next part. We're going to come into some neck rolls. So our neck is part of our spine. It's our cervical spine made up of 7 vertebrae. And so we're going to take some time to care for our neck. So dip the chin down to the chest, keeping the spine tall and lifted. And we're going to slowly roll the neck from side to side, not coming all the way around. We're not bringing the head back, but we're just rolling ear to shoulder, coming through center. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the shoulders soft. As you draw these half moon shapes with your nose, with your chin, noticing what spots on your journey from side to side feel particularly tight or feel particularly interesting. Maybe spending a little bit of extra time in that spot. Slowly making your way back to center, bringing the chin towards the center of the chest, and then bringing the head up. Take your hands behind your head, interlacing your fingers and placing your interlaced fingers at the nape of your neck, or the spot where your hairline meets the top of your neck. And we're not pressing back really hard, we're just gently pressing the head back as we open the elbows wide. So press the fingers and the hands into the back of the head and the back of the head into the hands. Feeling a gentle engagement in the muscles at the back of the neck. Trying to bring your earlobes in line with your shoulders, keeping the spine long and lifted. It may feel like you're leaning back, and that's okay. One more deep breath. Exhale to release the hands out to your sides. So this time we're going to take left ear towards left shoulder. And you can walk that right hand a little bit further away. The left hand can rest on the thigh or the knee. And feel that opening through the right side of your neck. You can play with the positioning of your chin, see if you can find the spot that feels the most interesting or that your body needs the most. Option to stay here, or option to take that right arm and to bring it back behind you, crossing across your low back and tucking the fingertips into that crease at the top of your left thigh. If you can't get it in the crease, that's fine. You can just hold opposite ribs, or you can grab your shirt on the side of your body. Keep that ear drawing down to your shoulder, really feeling a strong opening through the side of the neck now, the top of the trap. Again, you can play with the chin positioning to find the juiciest stretch, what feels the best. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Notice if they started to creep up towards the sky. Relax them down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Release that right hand. Roll the neck through center. And bring the right ear to right shoulder now. And we're going to reach the left arm away. So reaching through the fingertips. You can walk them along the ground, or you can just reach away. You may feel this one through your entire arm as you reach away. You may just feel it localized in the neck. You may not feel anything at all. If that's the case, if you want more, take that hand behind you across the low back. Tuck the fingers into the crease between your thigh and hip, or grab opposite ribs, or grab the fabric of your shirt. Find that spot that feels the yummiest, that you feel like you want to hang out. You'll know it when you find it. It may not feel so yummy if you have really tight shoulders and neck, but you're going to know which spot is the one that you need to hold. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly release the arm. Make your way back to center. Inhale the arms down, around, and up. Reach up through the fingertips. On your exhale, draw the belly button in as you twist to the left. So create the twist not through your hips, but through your shoulders and core as you twist yourself towards the left. So keep your hips square, keep your weight evenly distributed through your seat. Warming up through the muscles of the spine now. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale here. On your inhale, sweep the arms down, around, and up once more. And exhale, draw the navel in to twist to the right. Long spine here. Try to stack the center of your chest over the center of your pelvis and the crown of your head over the center of your chest. So notice if you might be leaning back in space or maybe rounding through the spine a little bit. Feel this nice stretch. One more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Inhale to make your way back to center. We're going to transition into tabletop now. If you're sitting on a blanket, you can use this blanket underneath your knees as a little bit of extra cushion, especially if you're practicing on a harder surface. And we're going to come to tabletop. You can also move the blanket out of the way if you don't need it anymore. So from tabletop, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Stack hips over knees. Knees are hips distance apart. Hands are shoulders distance apart. We're going to come into some really slow cat-cows. So cat-cow is my favorite stretch for the spine. It really moves the spine in flexion and extension in a really nice way. So on your inhale, begin to slowly lift the tailbone up to the ceiling. We're going to make our way in a few breaths, so don't feel like you have to do all of this in one inhale. So lift and spread your sit bones as you start to bring the upper chest through the upper arms, shining the heart forward, drawing the shoulder blades together on the back ribs. Now on your exhale, you're going to create a slow rippling motion starting with the tailbone. So start to tuck the tailbone under and see if you can move through the spine one vertebrae at a time as you transition into cat pose. So starting with the low back, the mid back, finally into the upper back and the neck. As you draw chin into chest, spreading the shoulder blades apart and rounding the spine into cat pose. Again, starting with the tailbone, as you inhale, start to lift just the tailbone. See if you can isolate the movement, keeping the rest of the body in cat pose as you slowly begin to ripple through the spine. Easier said than done, I know. But we're going to try to make it as slow as possible and just make it your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. Finally coming into cow pose. On your exhale, just the tailbone starts to lengthen down, then moving into the sacrum and the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, and finally the cervical spine. As you come into the full rounded cat pose, using your breath to guide you, spread the shoulder blades, press the floor away. Inhale, tailbone lifts. Ripple through the spine in a slow motion, wave-like movement. To come to cow pose, careful not to crunch back through the neck. Instead, find length through the back of the neck, arching through the whole spine. And then exhale, ripple through the spine. Create that ocean-like wave movement as you come back into cat pose. Awesome job. Make your way back slowly to your neutral tabletop position. So find your long spine parallel to the floor. And we're going to come into a revolved tabletop, thread the needle flow. So on your inhale, plant your right hand underneath your face, and you're going to inhale to unfurl the left arm high to the sky. Trying to keep your hips stacked over the knees, really reaching up, spiraling the left shoulder open, creating the movement through the core and the shoulders instead of the hips. And then exhale, thread that left hand through the space between your arm and leg to come onto the front of the left shoulder. You can bring the left temple down onto the mat, trying to keep the hips stacked over the knees, centered forward and back and side to side. And this right arm, you can either have the elbow bent and come onto your spidey fingers, or you can reach the arm forward towards the top of the mat, your choice, whichever feels best for you. Try to find length and space through the spine here in this thread the needle pose. Feeling the rotation of the spine. 2 more deep breaths. On your next inhale, place your right hand next to your face. Begin to press through the right hand to slowly come up, reset in tabletop. And then we'll take the left hand underneath the face. Keep the hips square as you inhale, unfurling the right arm towards the sky. Using your shoulders and your core, draw the navel in. Keep your hips squaring down towards the floor, rotating through the spine. It's okay if you can't totally open through the shoulders, just do the best you can. And then on your exhale, thread that right arm through in between, coming down onto your right temple. Hips stack over knees once more. And then you can bend the elbow, bringing the elbow up high, or you can walk the left arm forward, your choice. So fun fact, the spine has 6 planes of movement. You have flexion and extension, which is what we did in cat and cow. You have rotation, left and right, which is what we're working on right now in our thread the needle. And then you have a lateral side bend, left and right. So that might give you a little hint as to where we're going next. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Place your left hand next to your face as you inhale to press slowly back up into your neutral tabletop position. And then we're going to come all the way down onto the belly. See, if you're still using your blanket, you might want to move it out of the way. We're coming all the way down onto your belly to come into Sphinx pose. So place the elbows underneath the shoulders. Forearms are parallel to each other, about shoulders distance apart. Press into the tops of the feet. That's going to engage the quads, and engaging the quads is going to protect your low back. Now, normally in Sphinx pose, we'll really open up, taking the gaze forward and up. For this one, I actually want you to take the gaze actually down towards the floor. So I want this stretch to be more in the thoracic spine, which tends to be the stickiest part of our spine for most people. So really focus on creating the back bend through the thoracic spine here, because we tend to really throw our head back and make this back bend mostly in the cervical spine. So by taking the gaze down towards the floor, slightly in front of your hands, you can't do that. It really has to be in the thoracic spine. So draw the heads of the shoulders down and back, drawing the shoulder blades together, shining the heart forward, really opening up through the chest, opening up through your heart space. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Awesome. And then we're going to slowly lower down all the way onto our folded hands and just wiggle the hips from side to side, working out any tension that we may have created in the low back. And then pressing up to tabletop, taking the hands underneath the shoulders, slowly pressing up, tabletop. And then we're going to walk the hands all the way in to come up onto our knees. Again, grab your blanket if you need a little bit of extra support underneath your knees. I'm going to face towards you. You don't have to face in a different direction. Start by taking your left leg, stepping out away from the body. And you're going to come onto the sole of the left foot, not onto the side of the foot, but actually take the bottom of your foot all the way down. Take the left hand onto the thigh, slide it down as you reach the right arm up and over to come to gate pose. I told you were going to come into a lateral side bend. So this is taking the spine into lateral flexion. So we're side bending through the body. We're also stretching all of these muscles that run along the side of the body, the obliques, the hip flexors, the outer hip muscles, the intercostals, the muscles between the ribs. So breathe deeply here. Feel the ribs expand and accordion away from each other as you inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in, press the hips slightly forward. One more deep breath in. One more breath out. And then let's come up, step that left leg in, and we'll switch sides. Step the right leg out onto the sole of the right foot. Slide that right hand down the right leg as you lift the left arm up and over. Notice if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other side. We tend to be pretty asymmetrical, so it's just a good awareness to have which side is a little bit tighter, which side body holds a little bit more tension. So reach through the fingertips, creating this C curve with your spine, pressing the hips forward, drawing the tailbone down. Take a deep breath into your side body. Exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale to come back up. Step the leg in. And then we'll come back down into tabletop position. And we'll come to downward facing dog. So walk the hands slightly forward, spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes under, send the hips back, and lift the knees up. So this is our first downward facing dog, so your hamstrings may feel a little tight. That is okay. Put a bend in your knees. It is okay to bend the knees in downward facing dog. It is not about getting the legs straight. It is about having a long and neutral spine. So bend the knees so that you can really extend through the entire spine, lifting the tailbone up and reaching the crown of head down. Hug the forearms in toward each other. Press the fingertips, the knuckles, and the palms down into the floor. Lengthen the sides of your waist. Press the torso back towards the upper thighs for 3, 2, 1 more breath. And then we're going to bend the knees more. Take the gaze forward between the hands and slowly walk the feet forward towards the hands, little steps towards the top of the mat, coming into your standing forward fold. So feet hips distance apart, bend the knees, drape the spine over the thighs as you let the head hang heavy like a bowling ball into our standing forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows if you like, maybe sway a little bit from side to side. Lifting the tailbone up, drawing the belly button in, reaching the crown of head down. Release the elbows if you have them. Inhale, slide the hands up onto the shins, come into your half lift. Draw the shoulder blades in and down the back as you bring the spine parallel to the floor. And then exhale back into that standing forward fold. On your next inhale, we're going to take a slow spinal roll up. So like a rag doll, let the head and arms hang heavy as you start with the legs, and then you continue to the low back, into the mid back. Head is super heavy. No rush. As you come all the way up to mountain pose. So from your mountain pose, we're going to take one more little side bend. So find your hips distance stance between your legs. Lift that left arm up and over, coming into a little side bend. Bottom hand can rest on the thigh, or you can actually reach the hand up and gently tug on that wrist, seeing if you can find a little deeper bend. Try to keep your neck in neutral alignment with the rest of your spine and your weight even between your feet. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then on your inhale, come back to center. Let's switch sides. Right arm up and over. Lengthen through the spine. And then if you like, you can bring that bottom hand to gently tug, or you can reach the hand down or rest it against the thigh, your choice. You can even take it to the hip if you like. Just find what works for you and your body today. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale to come back up. Join me at the top of your mat. Mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms down, around and up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, long spine to fold forward over the legs. Head hangs heavy. Inhale to your half lift. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Lengthen through the spine. And exhale to fold. Inhale to bend the knees, plant the hands down on the mat, and then we're going to step back to tabletop. So stepping down onto one knee and then the other knee. Taking the knees wide, big toes together, sit the hips back towards the heels to come to child's pose. Bringing the forehead down to the mat or onto a block if you need some extra support. Taking this opportunity to just be still, to breathe, to notice how the body is feeling right now in this moment. Then on your next inhale, start to walk the hands back in. And this is the opportunity where you're going to grab those two pillows or your yoga bolster. So you're going to set them up lengthwise on your mat. And I'm going to start with my right hip against the pillow. So my legs are out to the left and my right hip is snuggled into the pillow. I'm going to take my hands on either side of the pillow. Turn your torso towards the pillow. This is more of a restorative pose. And then we're going to slowly release the belly and the chest down onto the pillow. You can come onto the right cheek, the right side of your face, for a more restorative experience. If you want a little bit of a deeper stretch through the neck, you'll take the gaze back behind you in the opposite direction of your knees. But that's up to you, whichever feels best. So this is a really nice restorative pose. I know it's not a restorative class, but it just feels so good. And this is a feel-good flow, so I added it in. So just let your body relax. Be supported by your pillows or your bolster. Feeling this gentle twist through the spine, through the sides of your body. Twists are so good for you. Twists are great for releasing tension out of the muscles of the back body and the side body, but they're also great for digestion, great for massaging the internal organs, increasing blood flow to your intestines. So I highly recommend any and all twists. And the restorative version soothes the nervous system. So maybe close the eyes, breathing deep. Enjoy this pose for another 2 or 3 breaths. And then on your next inhale, we'll slowly begin to walk the hands back in. Move nice and slow. No reason to rush here. And then we're going to come into a little mermaid stretch. So imagine how a mermaid has her tail against the rock. And then we're going to take the opposite arm, the arm that's in the opposite direction of the toes, and reach them up and over. So I have my right arm reaching up and over the same side that's facing the pillow. You can play a little bit with the position of your shoulder, spiraling up or spiraling down a little bit. See where that feels really nice in the body. And then on your next inhale, come back up. And you can either just swing your knees to the other side of the pillow to face in the opposite direction, or you can switch the pillow to the opposite side so that it's against your left hip, bringing your feet out to the right. Same thing, second side, take one hand on either side of the pillow. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, turn your torso towards the pillow, and then keeping the spine long, bring the belly and the chest down onto the pillows or the bolster, resting either the left side of your face or for the deeper neck stretch, the right side of your face. Maybe closing the eyes, breathing deep. Letting your body be supported by your pillows. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to press into the hands to walk yourself up, coming into that mermaid stretch on the second side. So lifting that left arm up and over and feeling that side body stretch. You can play with the position of your shoulder. Just make it feel good. Awesome. Bring that left arm back down. You can move the pillows off to the side. You can use them again in Shavasana if you like. I'm just going to set mine off to the side for now. And you're going to come all the way onto your back. So bend the knees, take your seat to about the middle of your mat, and then slowly roll yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae, onto your spine. Bring both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze for Apanasana. Bringing the thighs toward the belly. So bring your right foot back down to the mat, and we're going to extend that left leg up towards the ceiling, flexing through the foot for a little hamstring stretch. A lot of the times our hamstrings are pretty tight, and that can create a little bit of extra tension and pulling in the low back because it pulls our pelvis out of alignment and can create some low back pain. So you can put a little bend in the knee, as much of a bend as you need, as you draw that left leg in using your hands. If you have a strap handy, you can use your strap. Nothing crazy, just a gentle hamstring stretch. And then we'll switch to the right side. So set the left foot down, extend the right leg, put a little soft bend in the knee, and then draw the thigh in, maybe holding the back of the calf, maybe holding behind the thigh, whichever works, using your strap if you have it. One more breath. And release. Bring both knees back into the chest once more. We're going to do a little sacral work. So your sacrum is the part of the bottom of your spine beneath the lumbar spine. The sacrum is that triangular shaped bone that inserts between your two hip bones. So we're just going to push the knees back and forth gently using the hands. So draw the knees in towards the chest and then press them away to stack over the hips. Draw the knees in. Inhale, press them away. Exhaling in. Inhaling out. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now we're going to make some circles with our knees. So in a clockwise direction, make some circles with your knees so that you're almost massaging the entire perimeter of that sacral bone. So using your knees to draw a small circle on the ceiling, guiding your knees with your hands as you rotate around the edges of that sacral bone. One more circle, and then take your circles in the opposite direction. Nice and slow, there's no rush. Really feel into every part of the back side of your pelvis. One more circle. And then bring it back to center. And then we're going to do a little bit of a different exercise. So we're going to draw the knees in on your exhale, and then inhale to bring the knees out, keeping the big toes together as you push the knees away, and then bring them back together. So exhale, draw them in, bring them apart and wide as you push them away. Inhale to bring them back to center. Exhale, in, out and around, push them away. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale in. Inhale out and around and together. Good. Take the feet down to the floor. Extend the legs towards the bottom of your mat. We're coming into one more pose called banana pose. So you're basically going to make your body into a banana shape. So walk your feet over to the left side of your mat. Option to cross the right ankle over the left ankle, and then bring your arms up and overhead like you're going to take a big good morning stretch. And then bring your hands over to the left as well. So your hands and feet are over to the left of your mat while your hips are more towards the right, creating this crescent banana-like shape through the body. It may not feel like a super intense stretch. That's okay. Maybe try to walk your feet over a little bit further. Try to walk your arms over a little bit further. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale to totally release, relaxing into the pose, becoming passive. So not actively holding yourself in the pose, but just letting yourself totally chill out. I'm debating on whether I want to make a chill banana joke, and I think I'm going to pass. But know that my heart would have been in it. And slowly bring yourself back to center. Walk your feet back to the middle of your mat, and we're going to take it over to the other side. So walk your feet over to the right side of your mat. And then bring the arms to the right side of your mat, maybe crossing the left ankle over the right this time. If you need a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can hold the left wrist with the right hand and just peel your side body open. Oh, if you're watching this class, please leave me a banana pun in the review. That would be amazing. Really release yourself into the pose. Allow it to be passive. Just relax. Each time you exhale, feel your body get heavier. You guys want to know what Mozart's favorite fruit was? Banana. Okay, I'm done. Okay, come back to center. Bring both knees into the chest once more. Give yourself a little hug. Squeeze. Oh, and relax into your Shavasana. All the banana puns are now stuck in your head. Sorry, not sorry. Bring your feet wide, arms out into your sides. Next to your sides, palms face up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. One more big, deep cleansing breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Settling in for your final Shavasana, your resting pose. Noticing how the body feels. Noticing how the muscles surrounding the spine and the spine itself feel. And then just letting the attention kind of get fuzzy around the edges. Being aware of the body laying on the floor. Being aware of your breathing. But letting your focus just relax. On your next inhale, deepen the breath into the body. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Slowly bending the knees one at a time and rolling onto one side to rest. When you're ready, slowly press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. For our ending meditation, resting the hands on the knees or thighs. As you inhale, see if you can notice the breath traveling along the front of the body. So from the base of your tailbone, your in-breath travels across the front of the pelvis, the navel, the front of your rib cage, up through the neck, past the back of your skull, to the top of your head. And then on your exhale, the breath slides down the back gate of the body, down the back of the neck, in between the shoulder blades, all the way down the spine to the base of your tailbone. Inhale the breath through the front side of the body, past the navel, rib cage, and then over the back of the head as if you were pulling on a hooded sweatshirt. Letting the breath pause at midbrain. And then exhale, the breath slides down the back body, back of the neck, all the way down the spine to the base of your tailbone. Inhale, front gate. Exhale, back gate. Inhale through the front, pulling your breath like a hooded sweatshirt over the crown of your head, pausing at midbrain. Exhale down the back. One more. Inhale, front side. Exhale, back side. Returning to a normal breath in and a normal breath out. Bringing the hands together in prayer at heart center. Noticing how you feel. Notice any shifts that took place for you during this practice. And just noticing your spine. How does it feel different from when you began this class? Thank you so much for watching and sharing this practice with me today. If you completed this practice, make sure you leave me a review and your banana joke and let me know what you thought. Tag me on Instagram. Let me know how this workout was for you at Rolling Oaks Yoga. Let me know how your back is feeling. And thank you so much for practicing with me. And namaste.